Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of College Hockey Talk. On today's podcast, I'm joined by freshman of the Clarkson women's hockey team, Nicole Gosling. Welcome to the podcast, Nicole, and thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Now, my first question to you is, this year's college hockey season was very difficult for a variety of reasons. What were some of the challenges your team faced, and how did you overcome some of those challenges?
Well, with our league only having 4 teams, it was hard at the beginning because it was just like only us and Colgate playing. So just constantly playing the same team, like just kind of like it was a good battle, but you liked other opponents as well. And we've had a couple of quarantine periods that our school had to shut down our facilities. So just trying to like stay in shape during that time is hard when you don't have the proper equipment. So we just pushed through it, just stayed as a team. Like we knew that this year was going to be a bunch of uncertainties and can't really like plan what's going to happen. So we just had to keep open-minded.
Yeah, and playing the same team for 10 times, because I was checking out your schedule. You played Colgate 10 times. I guess what's your preparation process when you're playing Colgate for like the eighth time? Like, do you just not like just focus on your own systems, or do you do any pre-scout before that game?
Yeah, well, we always do pre-scale, but just like we really had to like focus on our team because we knew both teams knew each other very well. So we just had to bring our game, just try to make less mistakes than them, and just see what would happen.
Now, what is the positives, I guess, for playing in a 14 league? Because obviously you guys know your tendencies well, so there's good battles. But is there any other positives that comes from playing four teams in the same league or three teams in the same league?
Well, just like being easily familiar with that team, so like you're not like having to switch like different systems or like having to learn a whole new team each and every other weekend. So like just like being able to like play the same teams, I guess, is just easier to remember what their systems were and like how I was supposed to defend them and stuff like that.
Nice. And I guess, are you excited for the Ivy League to come back next year? And what team are you looking forward to playing next year in the ECAC?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to them coming back. Like they're a big part of our league, so it'll be good. And well, Princeton's a pretty high team up there, so is Cornell. Like they're both tough battle teams, and from just previous like teammates, they said it's always a good battle since like they have such amazing players on both teams. So I'm just looking for a good game against them, and I have a couple of friends, so it'd be nice to just battle against them.
Nice. Now, I want to start off this podcast by talking about the ECAC playoffs that you were just a part of. You unfortunately lost to St. Lawrence. What did you take away from that game, and talk about the overtime goal as well, because it was a bit controversial at the time?
Yeah, well, we came back from, I think it was like a 3-1 lead, so we pushed through that. We knew we could do it. We knew we can come back. We had the players in the room. We were just trying to stay positive, have each other's back during, like, obviously that, because we were hoping it wasn't going to be our last game, and we just, like, pushed through it, like, played every single minute, just fought our way through it. And yeah, the overtime goal, like I was just coming off the ice, so I didn't really see, but like I I've seen lots of videos, heard announcers talk about it, my teammates who like saw it and were on the ice and everything. So I guess like it was just a tough one. I can't change the rules. I don't make the rules, so it's obviously not the way you want to see your season end. And with so many other people kind of supporting like what you guys thought the actual decision was tough because like it didn't go our way in the end. But at the end, like it is what it is, and we just have to battle through. And like next year we just got to be like, okay, well, we know that feeling, we don't want to feel that again. So just kind of more motivation to be like, okay, we know what it's like to be on the other end of it. We just got to push through it, regroup, start a fresh season next year with hopefully the whole league back. So
Yeah, no, even the St. Lawrence announcers were saying that the puck hit something in the ceiling, and your guys were waiting for quite a while for the refs to make that decision. I guess, what was it like waiting for the officials to decide that call? Because as a fan watching that game, it felt like it was 20 minutes, but I assume for your perspective, it felt much longer than that.
yeah, it was a really long time, and like the door was right there on our side. So every time we just heard like a little noise, like everyone was like just focused on the door, and we're just like we're all discussing like we're like, did it actually hit? Like
Mhm.
who saw it? Like everyone stopped playing. Like it had to hit. Like what a like we're like also, oh, maybe it's a good thing they're taking so long to like actually get a good look to like make sure they're making the right call. But then at the same time, like people are like, oh no, like it definitely hit, like it had to, and all this stuff. So it's just like the anticipation was very nerve wracking, and we knew like our season was on the line right there and then. So we're just kind of hoping and praying that it wasn't going to end like that, especially with hearing and everyone saying that it hit the ceiling. So we're just like, that can't be the way our season ends. So we're just, it felt like an hour away then.
Yeah, no, and you guys had a great overtime. You were sustaining a lot of pressure in St. Lawrence's defensive zone. I guess what was the message heading into overtime after you guys came back from a 3-1 deficit in the third period?
Well, we felt like we had a lot of momentum on our hands, just come back from that and like tying it up, and we tied it up with like under 30 seconds. We're like, okay, like we're buzzing, like let's just keep going, let's keep having them. Our systems are working, just stay with them, and hopefully this goes our way.
Now, St. Lawrence is one of their top players. Julia Gosling is your cousin. I guess what's it like playing a family member in the ECAC?
Yeah, it's definitely a special moment, obviously, playing at this such high level hockey against your cousin. And she's an amazing player. And I've played like watched her my whole life growing up, and we played with each other for like 5 years. So it was like playing against her was obviously different, but like we knew each other's every move, so it's like we knew
Mhm.
what each other was gonna do. So it's just like it was just nice to battle against a family member like that. It sure makes it extremely special, and she's only 11 minutes down the road, so it's always a good rivalry.
Nice. And how was playoff hockey different from regular season hockey from your experience?
Just like a lot more intense, like everything and like off ice preparation, like everything was just way more like dialed in. Like we all knew what was on the line, we all knew how important it is. Like everyone just like knew what was all going on, and we were just all ready for it.
Now, your team had a really good freshman class this year. Talk about the impact that your class had on the team and just how important it was because you guys arrived on campus a bit later than most freshmen do. So, I guess what was the process for getting ready for this season? And talk about your freshman class's impact overall on the team this year.
Yeah, so a couple of us freshmen, we actually lived together, and then the other two, um, they were living together but in a separate building. So we, as a class, we got really close, and we are kind of big class. There's five, and then Kirsten McQuaid came in halfway through, and she made it six. So we just became like a really good tight group, and we knew that this year wasn't a normal year, and that we're not getting our normal freshman experience. So we just had to like kind of stick together and just know that things might not always go as planned, but we just have to have each other's back, bring a lot of energy because we had a lot of also good returning players. So we just had to keep up our energy, just play our roles in the team.
Now, what was it like playing without any fans in the crowd? And was that an adjustment for yourself?
Oh yeah, it was a big adjustment. Like I know like with just like having parents, like my parents would have been like at every away home game. So like just like not playing in front of them is obviously different. But like I guess they were trying to have like the cut like the cardboard cutouts
Hmm.
like kind of resemble it, but it's just not the same feeling. And like just like the atmosphere, you can tell like it's a lot more harder to like bring up the energy from just your bench alone instead of like having fans to help you out. But so it was a big change, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know. And what did you guys do during the bench, I guess, to bring that energy out? Because watching your team play this year, whenever there was a block shot or a nice play, you guys went insane on the bench. It was fun to watch as a fan. Is that something you guys try to work on during games?
Yeah, we knew that we had to build our own energy, and that's the way that we were going to have to bring it out on the ice too. So we just needed to have everyone on board, and like just like we just had to like couple reminders every here and there, just like let's go, like, and everyone would just like get hype, and like we knew that the little things like would like create big things, so we just had to like celebrate every moment.
Now, are you excited for fans to hopefully come back next year at Clarkson? And what are your expectations for that, I guess?
Yeah, like the Clarkson community, they're such like rowdy fans, I've heard. So like I'm excited to play against them, and I know the community really supports our hockey, and I'm just excited to like meet some of like the fans with like our little night program. So it was just like nice to see that. And at Christmas, we got like a couple of little cards that a couple of fans have like drawn and everything. So like it's nice that the communities like supports us. So I just want to be able to like play in front of them and just show like give our support back and like try and do what we have to do to make them happy, I guess.
Yeah, and in the beginning of this podcast, you were telling me how you had to deal with a lot of schedule changes throughout the season. I guess, how did you deal with all those schedule changes, and what was the key for maintaining flexibility for this season?
Yeah, so like I was just me personally, I was just trying to keep an open mind. Like I had to like keep telling myself like, okay, it's not gonna go all planned, like nothing's gonna be set in stone. So with a person like me who likes to like have her schedule down pat, like needs to do this throughout the day, it's definitely a challenge and something you have to overcome. But then I was like, okay, this like nothing about this year is normal. So I just have to be open minded, just keep all my options open, just go with the flow.
Now, something else that was introduced to college hockey this year is 3-on-3 overtime. My question is, as an offensive defenseman, what was that like for yourself, having more space on the ice and having more chances for offensive opportunities in those 3-on-3 overtime situations?
Yeah, I love 3-on-3 hockey, like, there's so much space out there to, like, take your time, like, find the right play to make, and it was just lots of fun, and I would normally play with, like, Elizabeth Jaguar and Brooke McQuigg, who are 2 phenomenal players, so, like, having them on the ice, like, I knew, like, they would have my back if I went up to go for a little rush or something, and, like, just having that much space and time is really nice to have, and, defensively, like, it's, like, man on man, so or like zones or something, so it's like you can easily like find your man, not so chaotic, I guess.
Yeah, no, I want to get your opinion on this because talking to other players throughout the country, they say you have to be very defensively minded in those 3-on-3 overtime situations because if you make one little defensive mistake, it can cause an odd man rush. Is that something you noticed during those 3-on-3 overtime situations? And is that something you work on when you're practicing them?
Yeah, like I just it's just like 3-on-3 hockey, like in the split of a second, anything could happen, and you just don't want to get in that situation. So like when I am in the situation like that, or like I'm in practice, I'm like I have to like try and like be offensive, but then like know the limit of when to be more defensive, just to be on the safer side because you don't want to try risking something that could end up poorly and not in your favor. So
Now, I'm curious to get your opinion on this because as I'm a huge fan of 3-on-3 overtime because it eliminates ties. I'm not a big tie guy. I'm assuming you feel the same way. Is that something? Is that another reason why you like 3-on-3?
yeah, I like more hockey to play, so
Mhm.
can't always go wrong with that. And
Definitely.
guys, like sometimes you just need a winner. Like
Mhm. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Now, what did you do during the off season to prepare for this unusual season, especially since gyms were closed for the most part and ice time was very limited as well?
yeah, this summer for me personally was focused a lot on my cardio and like getting a lot to like runs and like sprint training in. And Tad, our strength and conditioning coach, provided us with like great information and great like exercises to do. So that was just my main focus, like just finding a field or a track and really got my cardio up as that was something that I thought I needed to improve in coming into college hockey.
Yeah, and what was the biggest improvement you made to your game this year compared to last year in the PWHL?
I thought I was more of a shot blocker this year. I felt like I was less scared to and like just really like accepting my role of what I had to do. And just the whole speed of the game was just an eye opener when I first came in. So I knew like it was gonna take me a while to adjust and everything, but I felt like it was all like what I imagined and just was gonna hope that it was gonna everything end up in my favor.
Yeah, and how did you what was the biggest adjustment you had to make to college hockey? Because obviously you alluded to the speed of the game, but was it also the mental side of the game because you have to make quicker decisions with the puck, or was it also just the physicality since you're going against players that are 4 and 5 years older than you are?
Yeah, I think it's more the speed and like just like making sure I'm doing like my quick decision, like just getting like make the right play, like the simple play, just keeping it simple and um just having like these girls are going to be on you like 10 times faster than they would like in the PWHL. And so I just had to make sure that my speed was up to the game and I was just staying focused when I was on the ice.
Yeah, and you also get to play under Coach Matt DeRocher. What's it like to play under him, and what have you learned under him so far in your first year in college hockey?
It's been great for me personally. We've like he's a really passionate guy, which is really good when you have a coach really passionate about his sport. And I think it's like it's been helpful to like see, okay, we need to like he's like serious when he needs to be and everything. So it's like it's a good backbone, I guess, for us, and it's just been a good experience so far.
Now, I want to transition and talk about the beginning of your hockey career before you went to Clarkson. You're from London, Ontario. How did you start playing hockey, and what's it like growing up in Canada?
Well, my dad's side of the family is a big hockey family, as like with Julia, like we're just all they've all grown up playing hockey, and my older brother played, so I wanted to follow and just kind of being that. And like every Christmas Eve we used to like have a big hockey party, like just like go to the rink and play on the ice. And it just being a part of like that background of a family just brings your passion for that sport like just 10 times more, because like they're all going to be supporting you, they're all going to be behind your back. So
And who was your favorite player growing up?
ooh, I think growing up mine was Bo Horvat.
Nice. Why did you admire his game?
Well, he played in London and his aunt was my grade 7 teacher, so
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
Now, before Clarkson, you played for the London Junior Devilites in the PWHL. How did you get the opportunity to play with that organization?
Yeah, so I played boys for a couple of years, 6 years, and um, I decided to transition. And my Julia just made the switch from boys to girls hockey as well, and she went to the Devilettes, so that was just the hometown girls hockey association. So I went there, played my second year of Pwhl there, and then got the opportunity my second year of Bantam to go up a year early under Ted Brown, and he took me into the PWHL as a grade 9. So I was fortunate to have that experience.
Now, how was the transition going from boys hockey to girls hockey? Was it a transition at all for yourself or not really?
The hockey was a little bit different. I did notice that, but off ice, like I didn't have any issues. Girls were all welcoming and just felt the same as if it was with the boys team.
Nice. Now, talk about your experience in the PWHL and what was your favorite memory there overall?
Definitely winning the our Final Four and provincials third year in 2019. That was definitely a year to remember. Um, just like everything leading up to it, though. Like my first year, we had big ups and downs. Second year, same. But then third year, we just came out strong. We knew we had the group to do it, and that was just everything. And then last year, obviously, well, yeah, last year with it everything getting shut down because of COVID. Sadly, we didn't have provincials, but
Now, how did your experience with London help prepare you for college hockey with Clarkson?
I think with me being able to get the opportunity to go up a year early into the PWHL and get that experience of playing with girls that, like as a grade 9, playing girls who were in grade 12 getting ready to play in college. I think just having that experience of having to play against older, stronger girls has helped me. And like, just like I've had people along the way teach me like how to like simplify things, like don't overcomplicate, and like I've played with phenomenal players who just have helped me along the way. Yeah.
Now, you also played for Team Canada in last year's World Championships. What was it like to get the opportunity to represent your country on the national stage?
Yeah, it's always an honor, and just meeting lots of new people from all over the country is just nothing like you can ever get. Like it's always an honor just to wear that maple leaf, and like it's unreal to explain. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, what's the process for making Team Canada?
For like the U18.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have like a selection camp like that happens in August in Calgary. And so like it's two teams and you have a week just like battling out against each other, fitness testing, and then the second week they will like have a series team against the US, as there's a 3-game series the second week. So they'll pick just one team out of those two teams, and if you just get stayed, then you stay another week, but if you don't make it, then you get sent home. But then after that, you just have a 3-game series with the US. If it's either in Lake Placid or in Calgary, each year it switches. But
Yeah,
and
and
then
you
from there, throughout the year, they just like watch you play with your team. And then around Worlds, which normally happens in December, normally around February, I mean, normally around November, they um, just like call you up and let you know if you made it or not.
yeah, what was your reaction when you made the team, and where were you when you found out?
Um, my first year, I was home. I was actually alone home by myself, but I was screaming, jumping up for joy in my bedroom, just waiting for that call. And I was so excited. And then my second year, I was just finishing up practice and I got a phone call and I was just as excited.
Nice. Now, what was it like to play in wonderful places like Japan and Slovakia? And talk about like what did you get to do anything fun when you were down there besides hockey?
Yeah, we got to go and see a couple of places, just walk around, just get a sense of the environment. And like, I've never been to any of those places, so it was like cool to get that sense of like culture and it's always nice to travel when you're doing something you love. So
Nice. Now, you won a silver medal in that tournament. What does that medal mean to you? And talk about what you learned in that tournament overall.
yeah, definitely you had to go through some adversity with coming out with a silver, as the year before in Japan we got gold. So I guess just kind of coming out with that is just like not everything's always going to go your way, and we lost an OT, which is kind of heartbreaking and just the way it went. But at the end, like you get like an experience of a lifetime. Not everyone gets to experience something like that. So even just getting the opportunity to have a gold and a silver, let alone, is still something that I will like possess every day.
Yeah, and talk about what it was like to win the gold medal in the World Championships the year prior.
Yeah, that was like an unbelievable experience. Like both years, such a good group of girls. Like just you like no one could ever take that away from you, and it was just an unbelievable moment. Just you're like it felt like all your hard work was just like coming to like real.
Yeah, what emotions are going through your head, especially when you're singing your national anthem on the blue line after just winning that big game?
Yeah, just a bunch of emotions, like so much happiness, like just screaming, singing that national anthem with your friends, like nothing in the world can beat that.
Now, talk about your recruitment process and what made you want to go to Clarkson.
Just the nice, like tight knit community. The coaches were very welcoming when I stepped on campus. Um, just really got that sense of like I think I'll belong here. Like I think like this is a spot for me. Like it felt like home right away. I felt like I knew where I was going before I even was there. Like it just everything felt right.
Now, Clarkson obviously has had a lot of success in the years prior with many great players coming through that program, like Renata Fast and Lauren Gable. How do you try to, I guess, keep that legacy going?
Yeah, just I would just like look up to them and just be like, "Hey, well, this is what they can do. Like if they can do it, I'm gonna try my best to like keep all the alumni proud. Like show them that Clarkson hockey, like they built our program, so just gotta keep doing my part and keeping it alive and like keeping it there for future generations too."
Now, talk about what it's like to play in the ECAC and just the competition you face every night. Because I know you only played three teams, but those are three really good teams. Quinnipiac had a great freshman class this year. Colgate is obviously a ranked team and made the tournament this year. And St. Lawrence was really good this year as well. I guess, like, what's it like to play in that conference, especially since it's one of the best conferences in college hockey?
Yeah, it's definitely an experience of a lifetime. Like all those girls that are playing against, like they're such high level athletes. Like they all are there for a reason. And playing in the ECAC, like only playing those like three teams, like even that was just like wow, like this is good hockey. Like this is fun to play. And like I just like when the rest of the leagues there, like I just can't wait to see how like it truly feels because even three teams like playing against, like, I even get a sense of how good this hockey can be.
Now, what's been your favorite road arena you've played in so far?
Mm, well, hmm, I would have to probably SLU because it's only 10 minutes and it's not that long,
Yeah,
but that's probably it, but Quinnipiac is just it's a long one,
yeah.
and then Colgate's, like, 3 hours, so it's not, like, too bad, it's kinda in the middle, so
How do you deal with all those long road trips? Like, what keeps your mind occupied? Do you just work on schoolwork for the most part?
yeah, or I'll just, like, listen to music, try not to get car sick,
Hmm.
but
Now, being far away from home in college, I guess, how'd you deal with that? Because that's kind of a process as well, especially during a pandemic where you really can't go back home.
yeah, it was definitely a challenge this year, like, my first year being away from home, but, like, I feel like it's, like, in a perfect spot where it's not too far where I can't just go home or, like, my parents can't come down, but it's also a good distance for me to, like, get out, like, kinda, like, get that sense of, "Okay, like, I'm on my own, I need to, like, start living like I'm on my own," you know?
Nice. Yeah, no. Now, you get to play with many wonderful teammates in Clarkson. One of those teammates is Elizabeth Shaguer. She was nominated for the Patty Kazmaier Award this year and won it last year. What's she like as a teammate? And talk about the leadership she has brought to your team this year, especially as a freshman.
Yeah, she's a super amazing player. Like she's incredible. A very humble leader is like so like she'll always put her team before herself. Like she knows the right time to talk and when to like get us hyped up and to tell us like, okay, like this is what we need to do. So which is like it was a good leadership and like her abilities and when she's like, practicing and in games it's just like whoa, like she'll just dance around me. I'm like, how do you still have the puck? Like it's crazy. Like I swear she has like a magnet to her stick or something because it's what move she pulls off is insane.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And you also get to play with Caitlin Longerin. What's it like to be her teammate as well, especially since she was a Patty Kazmaier Award finalist as well, and she was a first-year player with Clarkson, even though she played with Boston College for the prior years.
Yeah, she's a super fast, like super smart player. Like she knows when the right time to get the puck and she's like always she's a supportive teammate. So, like she'll always be like, "Okay, like you know what you got to do. Like just do it. Like just believe in yourself." So, she's also a phenomenal player and her speed is just killer out there.
Now, how have you balanced both academics and hockey at such an elite level?
It's been challenging every once in a while, just when you have games, like, and you have to miss a few classes, but I think it's also good to, like, I know when I need, okay, I, like, plan out my schedule, okay, like, I need to get this done, I'm missing this class, so I'm like, okay, I need to make time to, like, understand that material and stuff, and it's definitely a challenge with, like, having such busy schedules and, like, always being at the rink and stuff, but I feel like growing up our whole lives, we kind of learned that balance. So it's just like another day in the life, I guess.
Yeah, how's school been for you, especially since it's online through Zoom? Like, has that been an adjustment? Because I'm dealing with it myself, and it is kind of an adjustment.
Yeah, it's a big adjustment. I'm definitely more of a hands-on type learner, so trying to learn it through a computer screen is very difficult for me, especially. But I mean, it's kind of what our world has turned into. So, I mean, I have to make the adjustment. And with all technology coming up throughout the years, I think it's kind of good. But sometimes it can be a lot more challenging to fully get the material. But teachers have been very thoughtful and very helping with the learning part.
Yeah,
So,
no, I definitely agree with you on that. The only thing I'm not a big fan of from Zoom is the breakout rooms they occasionally put you in for classes because it can get super awkward because no one turns on their microphones, so like it's hard to get work done. Have you had that experience before?
oh, yes, multiple times. I feel like I'm just sitting there like I'm like, "Okay, well, I know I'm going in a breakout room," which causes anxiety because I have to talk to people, but then I'm like, "Oh, okay, actually no one talks," so it's just like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, I
yeah,
know, especially when you need to get stuff done. So it's like you finally break the ice after like 5 minutes and like no one responds. It's like, okay, well, I guess I have to do it on my own. But I feel like I've learned how to deal with it for the most part.
yeah, I feel like I've learned how to deal with it too and just like I guess like that's what where you've come to. So, and it's not just me, so it's everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're now in the non-hockey segment of the podcast where I ask you some non-hockey questions. My first question to you is, what music do you like to listen to before a game or just on the bus?
I like the more of like the calm music. I think
Mhm.
it helps with like my nerves, I guess. Like I just like those sing-alongs. Like there's the ones that you can belt to just to get the full emotion, just all your energy out with it that you're feeling before a game.
Nice. Like, what's your go-to artist for that, I guess?
Louis Capaldi.
Oh, nice. The
Yeah.
Someone You Love song, is that a good one? Is that the one you're
Yeah.
thinking? Nice, nice. That's a good song.
Yeah.
Now, now, what is your biggest pet peeve?
Ooh. Probably slow walkers or loud chewers.
Nice. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you on that. Mine is bad drivers, especially where I'm from, because it can get pretty annoying, especially if you need to go to a certain place and someone does not know how to drive. It can get pretty frustrating.
I bet. Yeah.
Now, what is your favorite outdoor activity?
Mm, I like to swim and like just like golf sometimes too. That's
Nice.
also fun. Just like being outside, just like having fires or like something outside with my family is always nice.
Yeah, what's your handicap for golf, or you just don't know, I guess?
I don't know.
No, no, we should. No, no, no. My handicap isn't the best. The only thing I would say about my golfing game is my putting game is terrible, so that like kills me a lot. So because I can do pretty well in the driver and chipper, but then like once I get to the putting, it's just brutal.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with the chipper. Driving, it tends to go to the left a lot.
Yeah,
Putting, that's a guessing game for me, but chipping I feel like is pretty consistent in my area.
yeah, same. Because I usually practice in my backyard because I have the fake golf balls that you can just
Yeah.
hit around. So I feel like my chipping game is for the most part pretty decent.
Yeah, me too.
Now, if you could have lunch with anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
Hmm. Does it have to be an athlete or like just anyone?
Just anyone.
I think Kevin Hart. He's
Nice.
super funny and he can always make me laugh, and I think it would just be like just like a fun time to just hear his jokes and everything.
He's also super motivational too. I've seen some of his stuff he's done, so I guess that'll be a kind of a good balance, I guess, when you have a conversation with him.
Yeah, I thought so.
Now, who is the funniest teammate at Clarkson?
Oh, there's definitely a lot of them. I think Stephanie Markowski is a pretty funny one. She can crack you up at any point. Uh, Kirsten McQuaig, she's funny too. I don't know. We got a bunch of them. We're just like a good group that just like will bounce off each other and can always lighten up the mood.
Now, who has the best style on the team besides yourself, obviously?
um, I think we all pretty have good style. I think Brooke McQuaig has good style. I think I wouldn't really say any of us don't have a good style.
Megan Hector said it was Morgan Hellickson. Do you agree with her on that?
Oh yeah, for
Mhm.
off ice, yes.
All right.
That girl has nice style.
Now, last non-hockey question is, what is your favorite app?
Ugh, TikTok probably right now. I'm addicted.
Nice. Do you make any videos or no?
No, I just watch for the
Nice. I'm the
entertainment.
same way. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't make videos.
yeah.
I'm too embarrassed of myself to do that.
Same. I'm too antisocial that way.
Now, back to some hockey questions. My first question to you is, what should be done to help grow women's hockey, in your opinion, especially since you've been involved with it for most of your life?
Yeah, I think just trying to get more coverage out there for women's hockey and like just trying to get the game seen for younger females just growing up, like seeing that it is possible to do stuff. Like there's a lot more opportunities I think out there than a lot of people realize, and I feel like the hard work that female players put in towards their sport just is going unnoticed, and I feel like if we get more coverage out there, like people will start to see that there's a lot more work put in behind scenes than what people really think.
Yeah, was it nice to see the women's championship be broadcasted on ESPN? I don't know if it was broadcasted in Canada.
Yeah, it was nice to see that. It was obviously something that is good for the hockey community for women, and like getting more exposure is always just gonna help our game, I guess, grow.
Now, what advice would you give a younger player trying to pursue a Division I college hockey scholarship?
Um, like just go have fun with it, chase it,
Mhm.
like believe in yourself. Like if you can do it, go do it. No one's gonna tell you no, so just put the work in and see where it takes you, and just have fun along the ride. That's all that matters, I guess.
Now, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give to any of your teammates, family members, or friends?
There's a lot of them. I guess just go follow our Clarkson Women's Hockey page to see what we do, keep up to date with our progress and stuff, and just, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Nicole, for coming on the podcast and taking time out of your busy schedule. I really appreciate it. Take care, stay safe, and I also want to let you know that you're one of my new favorite players in college hockey, so I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule and coming on.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a blast.
No problem. Now, one question I like to ask before